Welcome back to That's Life with John Carver. I am calling this episode Verify Everything. It's episode number 265. Again, Verify Everything. In 2014, a young man, which I'll use his initials RH, started dating a young lady in northeastern Maryland, and that's in the United States. And RH told this young lady that his parents died and he was adopted. So the story continues. RH then said that his adopted parents left him in the cold and he was abused. RH told several other girlfriends that he had leukemia. And all these things are lies. In fact, RH stole money and electronics from his parents and physically assaulted his own mom. Again, the theme of today's program is called Verify Everything. Not long after his relationship began with this young lady I mentioned in the beginning, he started stealing money from her. He stole her mother's rings. The mother had to go find those rings, and she found them in a pawn shop where RH received cash for those rings for his crack drug habit. Well, when this person learned that RH had other girlfriends that he did this to, he began to abuse physically this person among the other women that he abused over the years. Now, in 2015, RH started dating another young lady. He told her that his parents sold him for drug money, which is not true. Later, he told the same girlfriend that he had a rich uncle down in Florida, and he had some land that he was going to inherit. Not true. During the same relationship, he would beat up this young lady and choke her and do other vile things to this girlfriend. A few years ago, my wife and I happened to come across RH, and he told my wife and I that he had leukemia. Now, our daughter, Juliana, was in the very next room, who many of you know fought cancer 8 times. We know a lot about cancer. So my wife, she glanced over to me. I was on her left, and we knew that RH was lying. So my wife asked him to describe more about his leukemia. She asked him, if I recall, what kind of leukemia? So his little cocky self, he says, it's blood cancer. Like that, real arrogant. And my wife was like, I know, what kind? Because there's at least a couple kinds of leukemia. So he couldn't respond. He didn't have that answer because why? Because he wasn't telling the truth. In the past, he told some of his victims, I use that word intentionally, that he was a Navy veteran. In 2021, maybe earlier than that, he was telling people that he served in the Iraqi war, and he was also a head chef. All lies. In the year 2021, RH started using an alias for his current victim and his future victims, an alias, so they wouldn't find out who he really is. So in my research, I found out that RH has more than a dozen victims in his past. I've interviewed several of them. So this true story has a few points that I think it's important for me to share with you. And really the first one is, or I guess it's a question, do you believe everything you hear, read, and see? And if so, why? Why do you believe everything you see, hear, and read? If your assumption that what you hear and read and see is true, then there's a pretty good chance you're going to be fooled, at least some of the time. So do you have maybe multiple independent verifiable sources to confirm what you think has happened in the past? Probably not, because most people don't. I don't want you to be most people. So what you believe to be true, even in ancient societies and historical writings, may not be based in fact. So I encourage you to don't rely on your feelings. Again, don't rely on your feelings. Research a lot. Verify everything in your life. If you don't invest time to discover what you think is true, there's a very good chance that you could be living your entire life believing something that might not be true, and then paying an awful price for your ignorance. I've made that mistake more than a few times. So verify everything. My name's John Carver. Thanks for watching.